What's up, everybody? I am your host, Mothershed, and this is the War Ready podcast, Growth is Hard. Short introduction. So I have had a crazy 2020, 2021 kind of year. And honestly, I'm sure everybody else has too. Like, the pandemic happened, people are losing their jobs. We had to stay inside for 2 years. I'm like, after everything was all said and done, going back to normal life is even more weird than I thought it would ever be. And honestly, reflecting back on everything that I went through this past, couple years, kind of taking a step back from social media, from music, and kind of reflecting on the type of person I wanted to be, who I was becoming, and what I wanted to do with my life, I actually decided to do this, a podcast about my experiences, my obstacles, my struggles, and overall the journey that I've, went through to be here today and where I'm now going with confidence and with ease. Because honestly, whether it's prayer, preparation, etc., you mix all those in a gumbo pot, you're going to be eating good. So without further ado, let's get to the intro.
My soul wanna break out the labyrinth, I too wanna break out the casket, I do, then they wonder what happened. Back from the dead, I should've said it was killing me, I set up boundaries. Chump with the border, and now you're supporting the immigration. Cause I've been there when you needed me most, to get you high even when I was low. Did it then, but I don't do it no more, man. Growth is hard. 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 Growth is always worth it. Growth is Growth is Growth is Growth is
So starting off with, the year 2021, a little background about why I've been MIA for really this entire year, social media wise. So on January 12th of this year, I had a work-related accident, and honestly, it was something I never expected to happen. I was working for this moving company and we were helping a customer out. Long story short, they had this gun safe, and it ended up falling on me. And for good 3 months, I wasn't able to walk. I couldn't get around without support. I needed help. I couldn't feel my legs for quite a while after the accident happened, and I had to teach myself how to walk and how to jump again. Just basic things, necessities that we take for granted. And honestly, it was a very humbling, but at the same time an empowering experience, because there was never a time in my life where I figured I would not be able to walk, be able to run, jump, and do the things that I love to do, especially, being around my friends. We were so active and I was going places, always doing things, and all of a sudden just gone in an instant. And so it's something that something I took for granted, something I never want to take for granted again. Let me get that clear. I will never neglect these bad boys ever again, because being 68 years old at 23 is the worst kind of feeling I can ever describe. It's literally, having back problems at 23 is not what I thought it would be. I went into my Jordan year with a cane. Let me grab this real quick. So I now have one of many canes that you will probably see me now very often in photos, pictures, etc. with canes. This little bad boy right here, has helped me out through so many days where I'm just like, man, my legs is hurting. And whether it's physical therapy, getting out of bed, getting off the toilet, my God, this thing has really gotten me through a lot. So I can't even begin to describe the amount of things I had to go through. Not only, having a gun safe fall on me, not being able to do the things that I wanted to do before, but I actually discovered a lot about myself and those that I kept around me. And it's so weird, when you graduate high school, you never think that the ones around you are gonna leave, disappear, go away from your inner circle. And really, that's what growth and growing up is all about, expanding beyond your means, growing to be bigger than what you anticipated, and being able to share that with those that have common interests, common thoughts in mind. And you never think about, wow, this may be the last day that I'm with my circle. And the craziest thing about it is, I would honestly say about 95% of my circle in 2021 gone. Simply because I wasn't able to do the things that I once was able to do. I never realized how much I did for people. I never realized how much I was involved physically in my life, in their lives. And it costed me relationships, it costed me friendships, and honestly, I'm better for it. It's something that I had to realize it wasn't a loss, but it was a gain. Because honestly, if I am ever in a position where I'm not able to physically provide for those that I love and care about, I shouldn't be less than, I shouldn't be diminished to just what I can physically do to people, because I'm more than just my body. I have a heart, I have a mind, I have a soul. And for so many people out there that I know have been physically active their entire lives, whether they're athletes, they're contractors, construction workers, whatever it may be, calluses and all, you are more than that. And I never want you to forget that, because one day you're going to be that 68-year-old that hopefully isn't in the body of a 23-year-old that cannot do the things that they once loved to do. And I never want you to feel discouraged, because if those type of people don't appreciate you when you're not able to do those type of things that you used to do, you never needed them in the first place. So that is kind of why I took a hiatus this year, on top of the tons of weight I gained. Oh man, I cannot tell you. I'll post some photos about it once I get more comfortable, in my own skin. I do love me, but I would love me a lot better with a six-pack, if you know what I mean. So, showing you my weight loss journey, the before the accident photos to currently, and then what I'm working towards, man, it's like a whole different person. And I've spent really this entire year trying to not only get me back, but understand that I have to reinvent myself. I have to rebuild myself from the rubble, from the ashes, into something bigger than I ever thought I could be before that. Because really, I really put myself in a box. I really only thought I was capable of so much at the time. And after literally what felt like losing everything, I realized that I had everything to gain. Sometimes they talk about hitting rock bottom to, get back up. It really took hitting rock bottom to get back up to where I am now. And honestly, I cannot describe to you why it is a blessing, outside of, showing me the true people in my life, showing me my true self, showing me the things that I can do, what I want to do, and what I can provide for this world, but showing me that it's possible, showing me that as long as I put my mind to it, anything in this God-given world is yours. And literally, words can't describe how fortunate I am that happened to me, because it opened up doors that, just because I had the arms and legs to do it before, couldn't be opened till now. And honestly, it's simply one of those things that you never would think it happened to you until it does. And honestly, with this podcast, I plan to gather like-minded individuals that, are doing well for themselves. They're, prospering, they're growing, they have their life planned out, they're making achievements, they're making strides in their communities. But I want to interview them on a personal level. I want to know more about them, what makes them them, what got them where they are today, what, lows did they have, what was so great about the highs, and what about those lows made them appreciate it or help push them further to it more. Because you see so many driven, successful, outgoing people, but a lot of which, especially depression-wise, the happiest people have a lot of baggage. And I hope to undo a lot of that, help people grow, help people recognize their worth, and show them that life is exactly what you make it to be. Because really, kind of like these glasses, it's all about whatever lens you choose to wear. And It's not to say that you're not allowed to be depressed, to be sad, to be upset about things. Don't get discouraged from that, because you are human, and humans have an emotional circle that they're supposed to and meant to fulfill. So it's never to deny you of those feelings, those moments, and those experiences, but to never get too stuck in them. Feel them out until they're, out of your system, but don't take a second, don't take a minute longer to then get back up and do what you were supposed to do. Because we're human, we're meant to fail, we're meant to grow, and anybody that is successful will tell you it's all about the failures, because then it's one less thing you have to try to figure out what works. It's one less avenue, one less door, one less window you have to go through to figure out, is this the one that's gonna work? Is this the one that's gonna get me out of my situation? And that is the thing that honestly has gotten me here today. I cannot describe the amount of times where literally I am having a war with myself right here. We're in a boxing match. I feel like I'm going against Ali, against Tyson, to do the basic things. Trying to spend time with my nieces and nephews, trying to spend time with my dog, trying to spend time with my loved ones. And literally, I have to mentally fight with myself to get out of bed, because I don't want to do it. Because now that it's been taken away from me, I'm like, why should I? This is my life now. This is what it is. But I have to remind myself that this is temporary. This is not permanent. And I'm going to get back to who not only I thought I was, but a better version of that. Because there's so many things now that at the beginning of this year, oh man, I never would have thought that even within a year's time of just, rehabbing, doing stretches, little yoga here, little squats there, that I could, be doing what I'm doing today, walking around with this cane, getting around better, getting groceries. I can't even tell you how hard it was to get groceries. Getting groceries is like a full body workout. Like, I see memes all the time that I feel attacked personally, because there were so many days when I was in high school or getting groceries, and it's like, mama ain't raised no bitch, I'm about to get all the groceries. And literally, taking trips was an insult, and now taking trips is a norm. I had to swallow my pride. Another big thing that I want to talk about in this podcast is swallowing your pride, allowing yourself to be human, swallowing your pride so you can grow, so you can become more than just this idea, this ego version of yourself than you are, because it's really just a thought, a persona, a perception of who you think you want to be. But it doesn't mean it's always best for you or who you truly even aspire to be. So swallowing my pride and taking the trips, taking the laps around the house, taking the laps to rehab, whatever you want to go through in life that is your obstacle course, your laps, your training day. Know that you are going to get through it. Know that this is all just for the moment, just temporary, and when it's all said and done, you're going to be better for it. So really, this is just an introduction video. I'm going to be covering a couple different topics, a couple different segments. I'm going to be doing interviews, but this is just to keep you guys updated where I've been, what I've been doing, and just a brief little video. We're really excited though. I've got some new songs. I never stopped working on music. Let me tell you, my music has escalated. I can't even tell you the amount of levels I feel like I have surpassed now that I lost my legs. Oh my God. Literally, I can't even the amount of things I've been able to do mentally ever since I lost my legs, especially musically, lyrically. Oh man, if I had a time machine to go back in time when I thought I was some hot shit, oh my God, I would humble myself so quick. And honestly, I'm glad I'm here today to be where I am, because it's more than just the big shows. It's more than just touring. It's more than just, having good music. It's what are you putting out into the community? What are you putting out to your listeners, your audience? What do you want them to take from it? And I was so caught up in perfection, so caught up in making the next sound, so caught up in making the next hit song that I got lost in what I thought was going to be it. because nobody really knows what it is until it's out there. You know, we can think it's the greatest song ever, and it just flops. Zip, zada, no results. And then it's that 7th, 6th, 5th track on the album that is like, wow, I love this song, man. What made you take this? What made you do that? And you're just like, that song isn't anything special. It didn't mean much to me. But it's not so much about what it means to you. Don't get it twisted. If your songs have value, sentimental meaning, don't take that away from it. But it's not always the ones that you think are going to be the club banger, that are going to be your crowd favorited song or project, that are going to be the ones that turn out the results that you're looking for. And man, I'm so excited to show you guys what I've been working on. And effectively, in the middle of January, I'm going to be releasing a new single. I'll have more info about it soon. But thank you again for tuning in. I can't wait to see you all again next week. And man, I can't express to you guys how much I love and appreciate everybody who's been there with me through this journey, who have supported me back to where I am today. It has been a blessing and an honor to have you guys in my life, and I look forward to not only creating more episodes and reestablishing the community that I have with you guys on social media, but in person. You know, with COVID slowly but surely making its way out, getting back to doing meet and greets, meetups, shows, going over the type of charities and giveaways that I'm becoming a part of, and I want you guys to be involved in too. Once again, I love you guys. I greatly appreciate you. This is the War Ready Podcast, and I hope to see you soon. Peace.